Greetings, Z-Teams! This is Matt Harpatrick. While I've done many countdown lists in the past, like underrated classics, surreal TV episodes or movies, and many cartoon reality show contestants, I never once tried to do a top 10 list on the anime movies, cartoons, or video games that I've seen or played during their year releases. Well, I decided to give it a go, but with a unique and unpredictable twist. As we brace ourselves what's to come in 2026, people will often look back on the year prior at what was considered good or bad for them, from movies, video games, news events, or anything else. As for animation, it does have its fair share of good or bad moments, and animation fans will often rank their experience to find the best of the best. However, for this video, I decided to do something that's a little bit different. If you have seen any yearly animation countdowns, they're often categorized with a specific media like best movies or video games. But what would happen if we allow animation in general, as in all kinds of animation across mass media? And that's where this top 10 comes in. So for this list, we'll be going on a search to look over the best moments that ever happened to animation of last year, whether they be a movie, a television series, a video game, or even a special event related to animation that happened during that year. TV seasons and game chapters are allowed. Some I've already discussed on this channel, while others have yet to be reviewed. However, I'm not going to include animation announcements and trailers on this list. And keep in mind, this is a personal top 10 list, not a WatchMojo style general countdown in some way. There are still some moments I have yet to experience myself, so unfortunately, I'm not going to talk about some of the popular ones yet, like the Switch 2 games, Little Amelie, or Adult Swim's The Elephant. So let's do one more recap of last year before we move on to the next one. This is the top 10 animation moments of 2025. Number 10. Twisted Wonderland, the animation. Imagine if the Disney villains were transformed into anime characters and then attend some sort of Harry Potter magic school. That's the best description I can think of for Twisted Wonderland. Based on the Japanese mobile game in 2020, Twisted Wonderland the animation is a breathtaking experience on sending Disney into the realm of anime. Of course, it has to use a lot of references to their Disney movies, but it uses it to its own advantage to bring lore to these iconic Disney villains, starting with the Queen of Hearts, featuring a character named Riddle who shares the same bad-tempered, over-exaggerated behavior as his beloved queen. Yet he still managed to be his own character with a tragic backstory on why he's so restricted towards the Wonderland rules. It also applies to the 7 schoolhouses and how much they were inspired by these baddies, their magic, and what they represent. The animation is absolutely beautiful with the amazing architecture on the school grounds and the Heart's Labule dorms, featuring many magical abilities from Grin's fire breath to Diamond's clones. And Riddle is not the only one inspired by a Disney character. The other students and teachers have anime counterparts like the Cheshire Cat, Cruella, Dr. Facilier, Gaston, Lady Tremaine, and more. Yeah, we didn't get enough magic lectures from the teachers, the pacing can be slow for these episodes, and the human named Yule is just a bland avatar character. But the action scene and the unique world building makes you want to come back and learn more about this place. I've been hearing they're planning to do one themed Disney villain per season, with the next one being the Lion King, but as someone who had a good time with this anime, I'm definitely looking forward to see the next magical school year. We'll just have to wait and see how far down the rabbit hole Disney will do with this anime adaptation. But as of right now, Twisted Wonderland the animation is definitely mad and insane for its love for Disney villains.
Yes!
Number 9. Win or Lose. Known to be Pixar's first and only original anime series, this anthology was surreal in the best way. The show contains a bunch of likable characters sharing their own viewpoint through different art styles, from Frank's love video game to Ewan's little cardboard self, to Ira's crayon drawing of being a space hero. And with each episode, you understand the characters' insecurities and why the game means so much to them, which leads to the show's mature message and ambiguous ending that it doesn't matter about winning or losing in a softball game. It's all just a game in the end. That moral is so relatable, it deserves to be implemented to other things like movies and video games. Like Coach Dan said, it's never about being the best, it's about trying your best. Sometimes the episodes can be rushed, and I already heard about Kai's episode being trimmed. However, Kai still won because her personal identity is still intact as originally planned, and there are still tons of creative moments from her flying imagination, Lori's sweat creature Sweaty, Vanessa's social media hearts, and many more. Pixar may be done with television animation, but their original show received a massive W.
Say pickles!
Number 8. The Disney Hulu revival shows. It doesn't matter which one, they all receive a bunch of praise. You and me, them, Phineas and Ferb, The Wonderfully Weird World of Gumball, King of the Hill, even Mickey Mouse Clubhouse Plus. Yeah, I know, let me explain. The reason why all four of these are successful because they do capture the spirit of their original shows, yet they still add some new ideas to remain faithful. Phineas and Ferb acts as another summer year for the boys with new contractions and adventures like Trophy McTrophface or Attack of the Kansas Suit. They even expand previous elements from the original like Stacy knowing Perry's identity or Carl's life as an intern. The continuity and expansion also applies to the other cartoons. The characters from King of the Hill are all grown up, adjusting their new chapters in life. Mickey got a new buddy, new places around the neighborhood, even some of his friends like Minnie got their own clubhouses. But the one revival that stands out the most is Gumball because the comedy remains fresh, they always try out new animation styles, and it finally answered what happened last season involving the Void. And you know what's ironic with these shows? They've already been renewed for another season. Yes, I know what I'm going to do next year. These shows were hot dog wonderfully weird, and they were definitely the kings of revivals.
That's the thing!
Number 7. The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie. Ever since Warner Brothers merged with Discovery, the company was being a bad parent for neglecting cartoons, especially the Looney Tunes. But there was still a small glimmer of hope at the end of the tunnel by giving their hand-drawn movie a chance to be available to the public. While the Looney Tunes movie only features Porky, Daffy, and Petunia, The Day the Earth Blew Up did not shy away on why we love the Looney Tunes so much, from the explosions to the over-the-top slapstick. Plus, the movie contains a lot of heart involving the relationship between Porky and Daffy, where they always stick together no matter how different they are. In no big shock, the animation help makes the comedy funny and comes up with creative tributes to some sci-fi B movies and the collected shorts themselves. While it didn't make a lot of money at the box office, and it hasn't really influenced other studios to bring back 2D films, the Looney Tunes still receive a bunch of happy endings, like their cartoons finding a home on Tubi and MeToons, and Coyote vs. Acme is finally getting its own public screening. As for The Day the Earth Blew Up, this movie was an underrated gem that seriously left an explosive impact.
Get it off me! Get it off me! Get it off me! Get it off me!
Oh, is it over?
Number 6. Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Foul. It is debatable if this movie counts as a 2025 moment since it was an Oscar nomination for Best Animated Feature of the year prior. But it got a worldwide release in January, so I decided to include it on the list. Known to be a spiritual successor to their beloved shorts, The Wrong Trousers, Vengeance Most Foul is another fantastic invention starring our favorite duo. The stop-motion animation presents a lot of creativity with the Norobots, intense action scenes, and plenty of comedy. The characters are still their beloved selves, and how much Feather McGraw is the most dangerous stop-motion penguin they have ever faced. In addition, the film has a smart social commentary about being dependent on technology, showing why Wallace and Gromit are a beloved team despite having different viewpoints on it. Even if you haven't seen Curse of the Were-Rabbit or their other shorts, you can still watch it on its own and follow through easily. It's a friendly reminder that the cheese-loving inventor and his quiet, faithful dog always have amazing ideas on their everyday lives, even during Christmas. It's another grand adventure that Wallace and Gromit fans will remember for a long time.
And if you think that's progress, wait till you see the next thing I'm working on.
Number 5. Dispatch. This M-rated video game was one of the most biggest independent games ever released in 2025. For a workplace comedy starring superheroes, this epic sci adventure was a blast to play through. The game is about a man named Robert, who used to be a superhero called Mecha Man. He tried to take down his arch enemy Stroud for killing his father, but his plan failed and his mech suit is beyond repair. Luckily, he encounters a superheroine named Blonde Blazer, who offered him a job as dispatcher, where he has to guide a team of supervillains turned heroes on doing some good deeds around Los Angeles while the SCN repairs his suit. So it's like Amazon's Invincible if it was a video game and they work in an office. Only this time, you get to decide how the story goes. As it is a choice-based video game, the decision does heavily affect the story with unlimited possibilities. You can have Robert fall in love with Blonde Blazer or Visigal. You can make him spare or kill Stroud regardless of what he might plan earlier. Even firing and hiring your own Z-Team member can cause some pros and cons in future episodes. It can still happen during the Dispatch gameplay based on who you choose to get the job done or how you want to approach it. The plot's narrative is fascinating in terms of the superhero concept. It gives a lot of depth to characters such as Robert, Invisigal, Chase, Blonde Blazer, and more. The rest of the Z team, like Flambe, Puncha, Golem, Malevola, Prism, and everyone else, have all unique personalities and cool powers. They fully display what all of them can do during the fight scene, even if you decide to incorporate the quick time events. This is what makes Dispatch an intriguing video game. The choices you make doesn't just make you decide what kind of hero you want Robert to be, it can still heavily reflect on who you really are as a person. Dispatch definitely deserves a fist bump for that, and Robert and the Z team will remember that.
When I look around this room, what I see is potential.
Number 4. Deltarune, Chapters 3 and 4. For clarification, Deltarune is a sequel, sorta, but not really, to the universally acclaimed indie game, Undertale. In fact, if you scramble the words, you get the Deltarune anagram. But let's not talk about Easter eggs, let's talk about its gameplay and hidden lores. Deltarune follows the same structure as Undertale. You play as a human and come across some colorful monster characters. During battle, you have the choice to either attack the monsters or spare them to become your friends. In Chapter 3 and 4, Chris the human, Susie the tough monster girl, and the Prince of the Dark World, Ralsei, are the heroes that must protect the light world or the real world from the evil dark forces. This time, Chris's home is transformed into a TV station, and the church reveal ancient prophecies of what will happen to the heroes and their worlds. Not only are we introduced to new characters from the Dark Worlds, but Toby Fox managed to pull some incredible animation from both chapters. You got the use of 3D on Mr. Antenna, including his retro intro, and some multiple minigames to test your stamina. And the 4th chapter went into so much detail with the Roaring Knight unleashing a colossal monster known as the Titan. Plus, we do get a lot of depth to both worlds and characters. The Dark World residents such as Lancer or Ralsei can only exhibit objects in the real world because things go boom when everything is pitch black. Yet some like Ralsei still has feelings for his friends and make his own interests, needs, likes, and choices. We also got new developments involving Chris's character and what's going on with them, showing how are they really feeling on these adventures and have been struggling with the changes in their life, like Noelle having a crush on Susie and dealing with their parents' divorce. And no matter what good or bad choices you make throughout the game, Chris will try to stop their soul, aka you, from doing anything important to progress the story. And these choices and changes still occur on the new characters. Mr. Tennant wants to stay on the air so he won't get thrown away, and one of the unique underrated Undertale characters, Gerson, received a lot of depth towards his character in this alternate timeline. As the chapters keep going, Deltarune keeps getting better and better. It's filled with determination and me has more hype to play the next episode. Number 3. Nazatu is the highest grossing anime film, and Flow wins the Oscars. I'm putting both these movies on the list because they have some striking similarities. They were both lesser known films people haven't seen yet, but after receiving a lot of money and winning an Oscar for Best Animated Feature, the positive word of mouth convinced everyone to go see them. Starting with Nazatu, it became the highest grossing anime film in a single territory. The film was first released in China, but over time, it became available to other countries of the world like America. Originally, Inside Out 2 was the highest grossing anime film of all time, finally freeing us from the Lion King remake confusion with a total of $1.699 billion worldwide. Less than a year later, Nazatu skyrocketed at the box office with more than $2 billion, the first anime film to hit that mark. As for Flow, it also led an impact for the animation community for being the first independent anime film to win an Oscar, and it was up against the Hollywood movies like Vengeance Most Foul, The Wild Robot, and again, Inside Out 2. What's even better is that the movie's animation was done by using a free open source software called Blender, and now many animation fans want to try it in their future careers. Nowadays, the Oscars are starting to become as fair as possible where the club voters are now required to watch all these category movies, including animation, in order to cast their vote to find the best of the best. Whether these movies come from a large or small studio, we can safely say that the Academy Awards are making it clear that it really is an award show where anyone can win. Will we get another Flow or Nazatu moment for the following year? I don't know. But as for both these movies, they show the world that animation is not kiddie stuff.
Give me immortality!
Number 2. K-Pop Demon Hunters. Yeah, it's no surprise that this anime film is worth talking about. At the start of the summer, Rumi, Zoe, and Mira made a grand entrance and welcomed everyone to the realm of K-pop music. When it was released on Netflix, it was the most watched original movie in history with more than 500 million views. So much so, it received a limited time sing-along version in theaters. What makes K-Pop Demon Hunters one of the best anime films is the concept of a girl band fighting demons with the power of music. The characters are memorable and often relatable, especially Rumi on self-acceptance and love from her friends. And let's not forget the animation displays a lot of humor, suspenseful action, and unforgettable choreography and special effects during the song numbers. Whether they come from Hundreds or the Sasha Boys, people can't get enough of Golden, How It's Done, Soda Pop, Takedown, and Your Idol. It was so successful in streaming, it grew into a gigantic fandom of costumes, song covers, Fortnite content, and the 3 actresses who did singing voices for Hundred will make special guest appearances in Saturday Night Live and Amazing Thanksgiving to sing their iconic songs. The phenomenon would, of course, transform K-pop Demon Hunters into a franchise with possible future sequels or a staged musical. The movie won everybody's hearts, its music broke many records to become a platinum soundtrack. They definitely show the entire planet how it's done. Before we reveal the best 2025 moment, let's give a shout out to these honorable mentions. Dogman. It's a funny family movie, but next time, take it one book at a time. Plankton the movie. An improvement from the Sandy Cheeks movie, but the same Bikini Bottom Girl has already been done to death. Marvel Zombies. A suspenseful zombie horror show. Just wish it wasn't a limited series with only 4 episodes. Elio. An innocent and relatable movie with a heart of gold and likable characters. Just please stop with the lie reveal and dead parents cliches. The Bad Guys 2. Filled with laughs and action, but the movie didn't show enough plot about the bad guys becoming good to the world. Knights of Guinevere, an interesting commentary on the Disney business, but the pilot hasn't reached amazing levels of digital circus yet, but the next episodes are working on it. Hazbin Hotel Season 2, it has new character development and some amazing songs, but I think I'm going to remember Act 1 a lot more than this. Disventure Camp Season 2 Remake, well-polished animation, and getting a lot more character depth to the Season 2 cast. Fiona and Cake Season 2, unique slice of life stories with some awesome action scenes. The fun never ends in the Adventure Time universe. Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, a cool interpretation of how the web slinger, his allies, and enemies came to be, and I still consider this version to be spectacular. And the number 1 animation moment of 2025 is... Zootopia 2. This was really a difficult decision to decide which anime movie should be at number 1. This or K-pop Demon Hunters. With K-pop, Sony Pictures Animation didn't take a risk on releasing their original movie in theaters and not realizing it sooner that they were sitting on a gold mine. Zootopia 2, on the other hand, Disney took a gamble on continuing making another sequel to one of their 2010 movies, no matter what fears or anxieties. The follow-up remains true to its own predecessor and does not shy away on its powerful message to stop unfairness and discrimination, only this time with reptiles and the partnership between Nick and Judy. The animation continues to show us the colossal world of Zootopia and all the animals that live there, both old and new. The writing is both smart and funny, even with the pop culture stuff spread throughout the film. And the characters are still lovable, and the new ones like Gary and Nibbles are memorable as Nick, Judy, Flash, and everyone else. It also proved that Disney is getting better with sequels, and Zootopia 2 simply showed that there's nothing scary about having another Disney anime sequel in any way, because follow-ups can be as original as an original movie with extended world building, new themes and morals, and creating some additional well-developed characters. And this has been proven from time and time again, from Rescuers Down Under, to the Toy Story sequels, to Finding Dory, to Inside Out 2, to, of course, Ralph Breaks the Internet. Trust me, the certified critics on these award shows are more honest than YouTube and Twitter. And now with the news that the Zootopia and Encanto director is going to be the new chief creative officer at Disney Animation, we are still going to receive some original movies in the future, alongside with a few other sequels like Frozen and Zootopia itself. No sequel takeovers or anything like that, just an ideal structure where originals and sequels are allowed to coexist together like the Zootopia animals. In conclusion, I can confidently say that this was another successful case on Judy Hopps and Nick Wilde, and that's why I consider Zootopia 2 as the number 1 best animation moment of 2025.
Wow, that was almost a compliment.
Your worst idea is what you did with your ears.
Do you agree with my list? What are some of your favorite 2025 animation moments? Well, feel free to leave in the comments below, and be sure to like, comment, and subscribe me for a new review or other project. I'm Mad Hair Patrick. Now if you excuse me, I'm going for a walrus boat ride. for watching this video. If you enjoy this, check out these other videos, or feel free to like, comment, and subscribe for more upcoming reviews and other projects. I'll see you soon.